reinforcement via trade or get unbelievably lucky in the buyout market. Because even if Roberson is solid, like let's just say like Roberson is like goes to our best expectations or like 8 out of 10 of our expectations, and he's like a pretty good wing defender. I mean, like that still doesn't make up for the fact that like DJ was terrible last night, and it still doesn't make up for the fact that they have nobody like above 6'9" other than Durant who like really is a viable starter. So I mean they're gonna have like start to have talks about like trading seconds or trading like packaging Claxton and someone if like I mean I don't know I don't really know what the deal is with Claxton's injury, and to be honest like they're at a point where they really can't wait to a certain extent if they can get someone someone who can really help them, and even trading Spencer's expiring contract for someone who has a longer deal that maybe is not even that good of a deal, but if it's a guy who helps them rebound, like take it.
Yeah, no, I'm not trading Spencer for DeAndre Jordan though. Like, look, Spencer is a very valuable piece. Is he a free agent this summer?
He can opt out this summer. So the question is like, will he opt out?
He's gonna
opt
out.
He'll probably opt out even coming off the injury, but the question is, or like, would he opt in for like his 13 or 14 million and then try to get something bigger? But I think he'll probably be able to get like something close to or maybe a little bit below what like Fred VanVleet got even coming off his injury.
Yeah, he's Van VanVleet money. He's what Van VanVleet, and VanVleet has played, really good offense this year, but Spencer's kind of like the opposite of VanVleet. Same. I think their production is very similar when you level it all out. He's gonna get paid. He deserves his money. I want him to get paid. I want him to get paid here. I want to see him here. And I think that would be a very smart strategic thing to do because, Kyrie is... So we're seeing a cast of characters that, who are finished. Like, let's talk about Blake Griffin in a sense, right? Blake Griffin is only 31 years old. He has not had a dunk this season.
Yep.
Right? The guy who basically lives off of dunking has not had a dunk this season. DeAndre Jordan is older than Blake Griffin, 32 years old. And he, if he goes out there and exerts himself one day, he can't play the next day.
Yep.
And yesterday's game was really concerning for me on the DeAndre level because he didn't even play against the Warriors. And he comes in, a few days later, he should have been super refreshed. And he just looked like I've been saying all year, like he's playing while holding a fart. It's just not it's not pretty. And now I understand the superstars on this team are in another category, but they're the same age as these guys. What we're holding on to as Nets fans in this window, it's a small window, but wouldn't it be great if we got 2 championships out of it? And I'm not being greedy. One is good, but our opportunity to win the championship next year, in terms of percentage-wise, goes down. It doesn't go higher next year because their salaries go up. The owners, it's going to take a blood pressure check on the owner to decide on whether or not he should be. He's going to take all of this luxury tax money that he's paying. He's going to be a repeater, and that's how really, really good teams start to fall apart. These guys are not at the age where you could be like, that we could wait till next year. The Warriors thought, even though, how many championships did those Warriors win? 3?
3.
So even though they won 3 championships, they thought they were going to get 5 or 6.
Yep.
Because they were young. Father Time was supposed to be on their side, but a couple of catastrophic injuries later, they've only got 3. They only got 2 with KD when they should have basically got a one every year of that contract. We have to be advantageous. The moment is now for the Brooklyn Nets. I hate it when people hit me up on Twitter and say, we'll just go into the offseason. Like, this year was a test run to see how it would go with the Nets. No. Last year was the time for us to figure out. Like, we already had a red shirt season for the Brooklyn Nets.
Yep.
It's now or never. I mean, well, it's now and next year if possible. Right?
Yeah.
Because these guys are at that Blake Griffin age where dudes are running out of jumps out there. You are born with only a certain amount of jumps. And at some point, you run out.
Yep.
Blake Griffin clearly has run out. He's only tippy toes now. DeAndre Jordan, he's got another 150 now. He's wasted some. That last game where he played really good and he was talking all that shit, he wasted a lot of jumps in that game. Yo, the dude can't catch lobs anymore, Sam. And it's not what I'm saying that not about DeAndre Jordan. I'm just saying how quickly the precipitous fall from grace could be if you get old, if the olds hit you. It doesn't look like the olds is ever going to hit James Harden, because James Harden, I don't even know if he jumps. I don't see legs. I just see basketball shorts attached to a jersey. I just see Yosemite Sam feet. Just that's all I see.
No, you're right. But I actually think, like, me and you were kind of hitting on, like, a key point that I actually think none of, like, the other net sites have really talked about, which is, like, so I'm looking right now at, like, last year's Lakers run, and when you look at them, like, I mean, I was someone who was not a big fan of their roster, and didn't know if they had enough, and what they ended up doing was, like, they basically got just enough from some of these, like, older veteran guys that it basically fixed up all the little holes and gaps that they had. So, like, they got the Rondo game that they really needed. They'd get the Markieff Morris game that they really needed. They'd use Dwight and JaVale McGee when they needed to. And, like, that's basically what we're asking for Marks. Is not like, you don't have to get, like, that's why I think, like, the Nets Twitter obsession with Drummond is kind of ridiculous, because, like, that would be, I mean, like, A, I don't think it's going to happen, and B, like, it's like a too good to be true type of thing. Like, I just don't see it, and it's also not necessarily even necessary. Like, they need like some of these one-hit wonders to hit for this year and for next year, because that's how these, like, championship rosters work. Like Rondo, like, this year has been, I mean, I know he's been hurt, but in part that's, like, goes to, like, what happens when you sign aging guys. Like, Rondo's been terrible this year. But they got basically, they sucked out from him whatever he had left, and he gave it all, which is why I also love I love your analogy of, like, the amount of jumps you have left, because that's, like, basically what they're looking for. They're looking for, like, whatever they can squeeze out of whatever people are left. That's what they need to do.
The supporting cast could be a whole different team next year. Like,
which is
Jeff
fine.
Green is 34 years old. You know why Jeff Green is still dunking on people? Dude had brain surgery. Was it heart surgery? No, I think he also had brain surgery. Google that up.
The Celtics.
Well, Google that up, because I think that patch in the back of his head is from when he had brain surgery. Wait, hold up. Now, are you Googling? Are you doing your Google?
Yeah, he had open heart surgery.
That's it?
Yeah.
Why do I remember him having some kind of brain surgery?
Aortic aneurysm. Maybe that's. I guess it could have affected the brain also.
Oh, aneurysms most definitely. Yeah. It's a blood clot to the brain. Like, I have a very close friend of mine. God bless the dead. Ozzy. He was a COVID denier. Because he just got his content from the wrong places, and he kept going to the gym. He got COVID, and the way a lot of young people are dying from COVID is blood clots to the brain, or AKA aneurysms. And So I made myself a little sad just there, but because that dude was an awesome dude. But he actually died, on a weight bench. Um, and it's just sad. But still, this guy had that. If you ever look at him, I'm always complaining about the Nets have too many ball spots on the court. It's like Manu Ginobili rule. You only have one on the team at a time. But, but that ball spot, if you notice, it's not in the spot where men usually get ball spots. I think it's because they had to operate and remove the blood clot from his brain. And but he didn't play. He was injured and he was out a long time. And he had to, bring himself back. That's why at 34 years old, this dude. I mean, not only that, he's a unit. He's a specimen. That dude just, like, the dunk he got last night. He got 2 dunks last night. That was just incredible. He's been such a great pickup.
Great.
But that's where but guys like him kind of show you that you're playing this crapshoot of how. When will it be over for these guys? Because I don't think any of them thought it was over for DeAndre, and it's over for DeAndre. DeAndre is the same age as KD. KD, who plays a completely different game, and has a completely different form of wear and tear on his body. He could probably play through the dirt years, as NBA Twitter has come to call it, and do really well. But look, if I had my choice, right, you can't get DeAndre. You can't get Drummond by trading for him. That you can't trade Joe Harris. You've already gutted a lot of your team. You can't take all of your of what is the Brooklyn Nets away from it. So I'm not with that. Dinwiddie plus Joe Harris for Andre Drummond. You let the league. The league is not paying Andre Drummond that contract. No one is trading for that contract. I have a hard time believing that. I believe if anybody traded for that contract, it would be Masai Ujiri, because I watch how that guy does business. I was mad at Sean Marks before the Roberson signing. When the Roberson signing and the Vonleh signing mended a lot of fences between me and Sean Marks. Our one-way feud, because he doesn't know who I am, but our one-way feud on Twitter, our Twitter beef, was about the time is now. You have to go out and get these guys who are going to fill in these blanks that make sure that we could go 7 games if we have to. If you add the right defensive players to this team, the Clippers can't play with us. The offensive juggernaut that is the Brooklyn Nets, if you just had 2 viable defenders, and I'll count Bruce Brown as one. Let's say Bruce Brown is 1. If you add 1 more defender to Bruce Brown that you could, put in and out on the floor, this is a championship team. This is a team that could predict like type stuff. Nobody is beating this team, and I thought it was very irresponsible that we weren't making these type of moves, like the Shumpert move, like really just wanted to fight Sean Mark. but the Roberson signing 6'7". He's put on some grown man weight since then. He's a strong guy. Used to be very athletic. I don't know if he's very athletic anymore. And I think really what I'm hoping is that the league, he didn't get signed is because the league doesn't want players that are taking up spots on the floor who can't shoot.
Yep.
And I think that's really what did him in. Because the league doesn't want wings that can't shoot. The only team in the NBA that could use a wing that can't shoot is our Brooklyn Nets. And I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped. I think it's the thing that puts us over. So I'm good with that. Who, if you had to pick Andre Drummond or Blake Griffin, who you got?